Now, very rarely does a Tier 2 or a Tier 3 airport garner the kind of attention that the inauguration of the Ayodhya Airport is garnering at the moment. All eyes on that unveiling of the state-of-the-art airport on December 30th by the Prime Minister. Joining me right now is Union Civil Aviation Minister, Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia, sir. How special has this project been? There's not been as much attention possibly on an airport unveiling for a very, very long time, sir.
It's a very special moment, Poloumi, for not only Ayodhya. I believe it's a special moment not only for the state of Uttar Pradesh. I believe that it's not a special moment only for the people across the length and breadth of India, 140 crore of us. But I believe that it's a special moment for every single individual that inhabits this planet, that has an emotional attachment with our religion and with Lord Ram. And I think that the Prime Minister's resolve and his commitment to take the dreams of people in India, and this is a dream that has been seeded almost 500 to 1,000 years ago, to make that into his sankalp and then to carry that sankalp through to Siddhi. And you are seeing the most vibrant example of that in the journey of the development of the Ram Mandir. 22nd of January is going to be a very important day for all of us across the world. And I think the beginning of that will be tomorrow with the inauguration of a world-class station, a world-class airport in Ayodhya. And most importantly, his direction very clearly that India must not only emerge as an economic power, but must emerge as an Adhyatmik Shakti, Sanskritik Shakti, a cultural power as well. And therefore in each one of our airports you see now an exposition of the local culture, the local heritage, and even in the Ayodhya Airport, the Vastukala, the Akar of the architecture of the Ram Mandir is espoused in the architecture of the Ayodhya Airport. Internally, our local art, all of Maryada Purushottam Bhagwan Ram's life journey is portrayed through various art forms, kalamkari to patichitra to Raja Ravi Verma. In many, many forms, his journey through life is portrayed throughout the airport, as well as the Ayodhya Deepotsav. So I think our airports now very much espouse the Prime Minister's thought of local for vocal and local for global. And therefore the airport becomes the first dwar or the first vista for any passenger arriving in that city. And therefore that person must experience the vibrancy of that city within that airport. And that has been our effort.
You spoke about the Prime Minister's vision with this specific airport because, all eyes on it. Were there any special instructions, any sort of ideas or thoughts that he may have had as well?
He was very firm in his resolve that it must exhibit the local flavor of Ayodhya, the heritage of Ayodhya, and also be very modern in its facilities. And you will see a combination of that tomorrow. It's a 6,500 square meter facility. We have about 15 aprons. But mind you, this is only phase one. Yeah. We are going into phase two very rapidly, where the runway will be extended to almost 3,700 meters, which will allow larger planes to land. We are building the second phase of this airport, where the first phase is 6,500 square meters. The second phase is going to be 50,000 square meters, so almost 5 lakh square feet. So that's the scale and the size that we're looking at. In the days to come, we will have connectivity to Ayodhya from multiple cities in India. and hopefully with the expansion in the days to come also international connectivity.
Was it some sort of a race against time as well to deliver this airport, because it started in February last year?
It certainly was, and we have achieved this in a 20-month time frame, which has been a record, and especially for Airports Authority of India, which is a government-owned PSU, to set up that airport in this record time has been extremely exciting and at the same time very commendable.
Okay. And has the name been finalized? We hear it will be Maharishi Valmiki International Airport.
That will be finalized by the Prime Minister and the Cabinet, and as soon as that is done, we will all know.
And also in terms of flight operations, we do know that Indigo and Air India Express have already said that they'll be starting commercial operations in the month of January itself. What more can you tell us possibly about that?
So we've got multiple airlines that have evinced interest. As you mentioned, Indigo and Air India Express have already given firm commitments to connect Ayodhya with multiple cities across the country. We are also in talk with the other airlines, Akasa and SpiceJet, and I'm very confident that pre-22nd Jan or very soon post that, you will see a plethora of connectivity to Ayodhya. Ayodhya has been transformed under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's execution into a modern city with tremendous heritage flavor to it. I did a personal inspection last month myself, and I do believe that it has the potential to become a central focal point for not only travel but as well as religious fervor and tourism in the days to come in India.
It will be able to handle the kind of footfall that is being expected after the Ram Mandir is inaugurated.
The current capability is 10 lakh passengers per annum. With the phase 2, which we will be moving very quickly after this inauguration, that capability will go up to 60 lakh per annum.
So my final question is centered around the politics of the Ram Mandir's opening. The CPM, Sitaram Yechuri, says, state and religion shouldn't be mixed. Trinamool Congress possibly likely to be a no-show at the event as well, the consecration ceremony. They're saying that this is politicization. This is BJP using this as a plank before its Lok Sabha campaign.
Well, I think that those that are invited are looking for a way out to be not present on a political standpoint, and it's with great regret that a person whose name includes both Sita ji and Bhagwan Ram himself is choosing not to attend, even though he's been invited. This is an opportunity for people across the world who are devotees of Maryada Purushottam, Bhagwan Ram, to be part of that event, either virtually or physically. I think it's a historical moment in India's history. The dreams of millions of people that have thought of this only in terms of a kalpana. We have today a Yuga Purush in the form of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who, as I said, has turned their dreams, sapne, into sankalp, and then his sankalp into siddhi. And I think for 75 years of India's independence, India was waiting for this moment, and it is Prime Minister Narendra Modi who is actually making that into reality. It's also a very emotional moment for me personally, because my grandmother, Rajmata Vijayaraje Scindia, was very deeply involved with this movement, and therefore personally for me it's a very emotional moment as well.
Just final question. So, what do you have to say to those, for instance, the Congress today saying Ram Mandir gets inaugurated on January 22nd, then the Prime Minister will go to Abu Dhabi to inaugurate what will be the biggest Hindu temple in the UAE.
So
this is majority appeasement.
So there are those that believe in Hinduism and believe in Lord Ram and believe in their dharma, from the bottom of their heart and live it every day, like Prime Minister Modi does. And there are others that believe in religious tourism during election period. And there is not a temple that is left which is not been visited by those political leaders during election period. And that brings out the hypocrisy that these leaders espouse in their lives, wherein the largest event in possibly in India's history over thousands of years is happening on this 22nd of Jan, as opposed to being part of that national mainstream. They choose to belittle that event. And I think their response to their attitude and their behavior will also be given by the people of India in the ensuing elections in April and May.
Mr. Scindia, thank you so much for your time, sir. I will see you at the inauguration of the Ayodhya Airport tomorrow, and congratulations
Thank you very
on
much.
the success of this project.